Okay, and welcome to the first episode of Just Another Tech Guy. Things you don't know and probably should know about computers and technology. Uh, Here we're going to cover Windows 8.1 and some of the changes that Microsoft has apparently brought from have made from Windows 8 to Windows 8.1. If you've been around computers, if you have a new computer or anything of the sort, maybe a new tablet, new laptop, if you noticed Windows 8 was a huge change from Windows 7 and other previous versions of Windows. A lot of different features, things like that, and I'll get into those maybe in another video, but this video is dedicated to the rumored Start menu that has been apparently brought back in Windows 8.1 due to a huge disappointment from users not being able to get to the Start menu and thus not really knowing how to navigate to certain things. So here we go. I have my Windows 8.1 evaluation copy, the Pro preview here, you can see. Running it on my virtual machine. It's currently running on 2.6 gigabytes of RAM and a dedicated 50 gigabytes of virtual hardware. So pretty low stats. Runs pretty fine. You should note that it will run a lot better on a dedicated machine. This is a virtual machine, so it might be a little laggy, might be a little slow, but that should not be the case on a new PC. So as soon as you can tell, look at what we have down here. This appears to be the new Start icon. It's going with the new Windows logo. The Windows logo has changed over the many years, and I personally kind of like it. It's pretty sleek, pretty classy. So here we go. We have the Start menu, and when we click on it, look at that. Brings us back to the Start screen, the Start Metro screen. Not what I was expecting. I'm not sure if other users were expecting this or expecting something different, but it brings you right back to the Start screen which you boot to. Unimpressed by that. If you have Windows 8, currently you can accomplish the same task by pressing the Windows key on your keyboard. Will bring you to, back and forth between the Start screen and whatever app you had open, in this case the desktop view. I could do the same thing in the calendar. I'd have nothing synced to this, I don't believe. So it's pretty empty, but I can go ahead and press that Windows key, and look at that, back to the Start screen. And then I can press it again and go back to what I was doing. So the usefulness of this little icon, not very useful in my opinion. What you can do, however, is you can go ahead and right click it and look at this. We have sort of the normal Start menu, your desktop view. We do now have shutdown options here, to easily shut down, and I need to update and restart. Usually this will just say restart unless you have some updates. I can get to a run command, the search function, File Explorer, things like that. I can get to some control panel options like programs and features, power options, things like that. Here I have it set to command prompt here. I find it more useful than the PowerShell that Microsoft has introduced. So this is pretty convenient. However, on your Windows 8 PC, if you press and hold the Windows key and press X, look at that. I get the same menu. Again, another hotkey that is easily, I can do the same exact thing in Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. I think maybe if the functions were switched, where if I normal clicked on this icon and brought up this menu, that'd be a little bit more useful, similar to more of a standard Start menu. However, and then maybe right-clicking it, bringing me back to the Start screen. However, the way it is now, it's not, in my opinion, not very useful. However, it is to be noted that this shutdown feature is new in this menu. If you brought up this menu in Windows 8, this power function here, this shutdown function option will not be there. So again, I'm not too sold on that Start menu. Another cool feature is worthy of noting is that if you go ahead and right click down here on the taskbar and go into properties, this new navigation tab, if you go ahead and click on that, got some other options here. But one cool one is you can boot directly to the desktop instead of the start screen when you sign in. That's actually, I like that feature. It makes using the start screen more of an option than it is in Windows 8. By logging in to the start screen, it forces me then to click on the desktop view if I want to use that. It allows me to use the tiles and things like that, but it kind of is forcing me to do that. By selecting this option, I can get right to my desktop, a familiar place where I would spend most of my time on the PC here. So that is useful. I like that option. There's some other options here. Show my desktop background on start, things like that. List desktop apps first in the apps view. So some other cool features here. Toolbars to be added to your taskbar. So that I do like that feature. The start menu is very disappointing. Much more to be desired out of that. The one thing that really disappointed in is here in Windows 7 you have a nice. I'll go ahead and here and open this. Nice right here. You'll see I have my pinned applications that I like to go to. Some Assassin's Creed, they're old. OpenOffice, some TeamSpeak, things like that. But look at right here. I got my search function right here. One click and I got it. Or I can, press my Windows key and I got a search function. Here, if we go into Windows 8, we'll right click on this so-called start menu, go into the search menu. So right now we're 2 clicks deep and it brings up the search function over here. Not exactly what I want. I would like the search function personally to be a bit more streamlined. If I'm looking for a file, looking for an application, a program, what have you, I'm 3 clicks deep now in order just to search it, and not really what I'd like. I like the start menu search function right there. So again, Windows 8.1, the rumored start menu, not what I was expecting, not what I would hope for. So that's just something to keep in mind if you've been holding off purchasing a new computer for Windows 8.1 to be already installed on your computer, which I believe I've heard won't be happening until probably maybe September, October time. The Windows 8.1 upgrade release sooner than that, hopefully in the next week or so. But if this is what you've been hoping for, this start menu, not really something to call home about, not something to really necessarily wait. Should probably take advantage of some potential back-to-school sales that are going on now. Either way, with your Windows 8, I believe if you purchase a new computer now, it will come with a free upgrade, as Microsoft usually does with their operating systems. Will come with a free upgrade to Windows 8.1. So again, the first look into Windows 8.1, there are a ton of other different features, some not so useful if you're using it for basic home computing, some file syncing features that would be helpful in a business setting, that maybe I'll go into on another episode. But as of right now, that just about covers everything I wanted to cover here right now. If you have any questions about Windows 8.1, something that you'd like to be covered in Windows 8.1, I'd be more than happy to do so. Leave a comment below. Feel free to subscribe if you want some more information on Windows 8.1, things like that. Again, comments, advice, anything like that, you can go ahead and comment below. And thank you again for watching Just Another Tech Guy. Things you don't know and probably should know about computers and technology.